warm welcome to you this afternoon. We come to you from Red River Stadium, site of a matchup between two Southern Division teams. It is the Mexico City Aztecs searching for their third win, going up against the Bossier City Steamers, looking for their second. Welcome in to the broadcast booth, everybody. Should be a good one. It's Chris Curtis alongside Brandon Walters. Should be a fun game, no doubt. Got some starting lineup shuffles, Brandon, for the defending champ Mexico City Aztecs.
Yeah, big news coming out of the Aztecs locker room is that number 27 right there on the screen, Jacob Morrison's going to be the halfback number 1 here tonight for the Aztecs. So not going to be seeing as much of that Hall of Famer Ray Bentley in the backfield. I think it's going to add some interesting wrinkles to this game plan for Mexico City and for Bossier City. You know, we talked to Mike Daggs before the game, and he said that he relies on both of these guys to do their jobs, and he has a lot of faith in them to be able to rotate like this. So it's going to be interesting to see how that changes the tenor of this game, Curtis.
One of the quotes he used during this was that a fresh Ray Bentley on second down is almost more dangerous than a fresh Ray Bentley on first down. So that could be part of the motivation there. Bossier City's going to start this game with the football. We'll get a look at their offense here as we get things started from Louisiana. We are underway with the matchup from the 4-yard line, returnable to the 25 to the 30-yard line, and that's where they're going to start this drive. Headed, of course, by number 14, the well-journeyed Johnny Pickler under center. He is leading passing categories all around the SFL this season.
Yeah, he's had a really hot start to the season, Curtis. I mean, he's second in completions at 77. 133 attempts puts him third in the league. Over 1,000 yards already on the season. That's got him top of the poll right now. And he's got that positive touchdown to interception ratio, 7 touchdowns to 6 picks. You know, he's had a really hot start.
He'll be flanked by Rob Noel, and then Robert Nemchik going to be the second back for Bossier City. Pickler on first down will throw this, and how about another completion? First down, about a 15-yard gain right over the middle, and that will be Dave Axis' first catch of the game.
Yeah, this is exactly what we expected from them. You start off on the front foot with that, that mid to deep range passing attack, and Dave Axis actually hasn't been that involved in that passing attack. He's the 4th overall receiver in terms of catches. He's only got 6 on the season so far. You want to see him get worked into that offense a little bit more if you're Bossier City.
Good stuff so far from Pickler on first down. See what they have for us on another first down from the 45-yard line, trying to get into positive territory. Pitch play off to the right. That is a good job evading the first tackle, but couldn't quite get past the second one, and that is Robert Nemchik's toss. It'll be second down and 7.
Yeah, that's the kind of role Robert Nemchik fills in this backfield. You know, he's 6 foot, 190. He's a shifty back, and you see him there spinning, trying to get out of those tackles. That's what he does best.
Under center. Strong eye look on the formation. Pickler hard over the middle. That one's caught. What a bullet downfield, and that's going to find his target. That is Vin Calia. He's also made an impact in his career, and Bossier City moving the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting to see Bossier City immediately going to target that seam there. And what you got to talk about the catch by Calia. Liam Ryan had some tight coverage there, but when you place it high and up like that, you can really put it in a spot where only Vin Calia can go up and get it.
It's a hot start for Bossier City's offense. They have it near field goal range at this point, 1st and 10. Trying to get on the board against the 2-time defending champions. 3 to the left after the motion. 1 off to the right. Pickler, pressure coming. He's going to step up in the pocket and still get drilled. Right at the line of scrimmage, he is speared and brought down. No gain, no loss. But that is a huge hit by Skylar Kingsley.
Yeah, it's got to hurt if you're Johnny Pickler. I mean, good on him to show the awareness, though. He felt that blitz coming on his, his blind side. He tucks and tries to get out of that pocket quick, but you saw Skylar Kingsley drop off of the line just a bit there, not going in with the rush, and he's waiting there essentially to mop up any kind of attempt that Pickler makes to step up and take off out of that pocket.
Play number 4 on this first drive for Bossier City. Looking to throw this blitz coming. That one is caught. Another tight seam and another one for Vin Calia. Make it 1st and 10 as they get in the red zone.
That's a great adjustment by Garrison Blue. That is the exact same blitz, same play, second play in a row there for Mexico City. That time Pickler had the hot read there on the right side. And again, Calia really going up and getting these balls so far.
Here come the Steamers. Looking for their second win. This would be a banner second win to get. They send 4, throws left side. That one will hit the turf, incomplete. That was close. Dags in the area, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that's the kind of congestion you get when you have 2 Hall of Fame safeties that play that pass defense. You know, as you get closer to this end zone, things are going to get more and more congested. Those safeties can cheat down towards the line of scrimmage just a little bit more, and that gives them all kinds of opportunities.
Strong eye look. 2 to the left and 1 to the right. Pressure coming from the blind side. It is picked off. Pickler throws his 7th interception of the season. It's Jeffrey Dags who comes up with it, and Mexico City's going to have it at their own 4.
Yeah, I mean, Curtis, not to call myself Nostradamus or anything, but I was just talking about the safeties making impacts when you get close to the end zone there because everything gets so compressed. And Jeffrey Dags, talk about some great coverage there. He drops in really quickly, makes you think that maybe he's going for that really short cover, and instead he drops back just at the right time, baits Pickler into that throw. Beautiful interception.
Now we have a look at Jordan Sipe in this Mexico City offense. They're throwing 3-yard line, though. They got to do something to get out of it. Morrison on the carry on 1st down. He will fight his way forward for a couple of yards, make it 2nd and 7, and at least get them out of the shadow of their own goalpost for the most part.
And that's the most important thing when you're on your own 3-yard line, Curtis, is you got to try and get out of the shadow of the end zone because the one thing you really don't want to do at the beginning of the game is take that safety because it's such a huge momentum swinger, you know, to get the points and the possession on top.
Sipe to the outside. It was bobbled a little bit, but then caught, and that's at least something to make it work. Jared Dumas on the grab, and that is going to create a 3rd and long coming up here for Mexico City.
That's an interesting wrinkle to have Dumas there in the short game. We might see that a couple times here if they're trying to exploit the underneaths on this defense.
Here we go. Sipe with the toss play, and it's stopping the backfield. What a hit that was. And they stop the drive before it even gets started. And Bossier City is going to receive a punt.
It's the old stalwart Ron Foraker there. Absolutely blew up Jacob Morrison on the toss there. Had no chance whatsoever to get out the backfield. Great first defensive drive here for Bossier City.
Punt upcoming from their own goalpost. This is going to get all the way out to the 45-yard line. Good punt, and not returned very far, but to the 43. So the field position battle currently being won by Bossier City. They got to avoid the turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, that's the toughest thing, you know, because those turnovers are such drive killers. They had a really good start to the drive there. You know, Pickler was threading all kinds of needles. It remains to be seen whether or not he can, you know, get that interception out of his mind and get back to throwing those dots. I'm sure he will, though. You know, he's a veteran quarterback in this league.
Pickler under center. Pressure again coming. Oh, picked off as well. It was the pressure that created that opportunity, and it's back the other way again as Mexico City gets the stop. It's John Osiris.
Well, if you're an Aztecs fan, talk about a bit of a break there. But, oh, man, the pressure again coming off the blind side. And Pickler really doesn't have any time to react. They're sending those double blitzes on the edges there. So the tackle has to commit to one or the other. And it just feels like, you know, no matter what choice you make, someone is going to get through to the quarterback. And that time, Pickler didn't get it out in time. An unlucky bounce for Bossier City, but it's got to hurt.
1st and 10. This will be to the outside. It's Morrison on the toss play. Breaks through the tackle, stays on his feet. Gets 5 yards from that. That was a very effort-laden play from Morrison at 2nd and 5.
Yeah, it definitely feels like the kind of run from a guy who's trying to stake a potential claim to getting more of this number 1 time, Curtis.
Yeah.
You know, when you've on this roster for so long, sitting behind a Hall of Famer, you've got to try and take your opportunities when you can get them.
Thrown over the middle. That one's caught. And that's the good ball from Jordan Sipe as he gets that one over the middle. That is going to find the known hands of Noe Terrazas.
Yeah, it's all about that deception. You know, you get the heavy set there for Mexico City. So Bossier City brings guys onto the line thinking, okay, they're going to run it or they're going to go short here. And instead you've got Terrazas on that little seam streak, just, you know, trying to pierce into that defense. And that time worked out beautifully.
2 to the right, 1 to the left, 1 to the backfield. See where they go with this. This is Morrison again, and he is going to not get very much there. Loss of a yard as they make it into 2nd and long. Watch this play here. If they can't get any yardage to make it 3rd down easy, then it's going to force Sipe to throw. 4:53 left. Sipe to the outside. Gonna have to turn the corner. Morrison, he's gonna fumble the football, and Bossier City's gonna jump on top of it.
Yeah, it's a big hit there for the Steamers. And I mean, we're getting so many turnovers here, Curtis. This ball is playing hot potato right now between these two teams. And, you know, Jacob Morrison, that's got to sting. You're trying to make an impact here. You've got the starting nod from your head coaches. You know, you're feeling eager. You want to make a good impact on the game. And early on, you make a fumble in a key situation there where you could have scored the first points of the game. You know, it's going to be a bit tough to try and bounce back from that.
Gunny McGuire on the strip and Freddie Trammell on the recovery for those doing stats at home. Set 1st and 10 for Bossier City as they get the ball back at the 26-yard line. Pickler looks, throws, got to have it, does. Good ball over the middle. Finds his target there. That's Dave Axis' second catch of the game.
It's a good cut, great throw. Getting Axis really involved in this passing game. You know, Curtis, we were talking about this before the game, actually. Bossier City has 5 fumbles now with that one by Morrison on the season so far. That leads the league in terms of fumbles created. So this defense for Bossier City hitting big, and when the home fans are behind him, it really could be tricky for Mexico City to navigate that Steamers defense.
They know how to jar the ball loose, prioritizing tackling the football rather than tackling the player is a part of that ritual that Bossier City likes to enforce. 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Pickler's under center, one in the backfield. That's Noel. Pickler to throw. Throws short over the middle. There's not a lot to that, but it is something. As Vincalia has it over the middle on a couple of yards.
No, I'd argue that's a great play, Curtis. You don't force anything, you know. Just take what the defense is going to give you there. If they're going to sit in those, 5 to 7 yard deep zones and they give you the underneath route, just take it, you know. There's no need to try and force something and potentially have a 3rd interception already.
2nd and 6. Pickler, toss play left side. This is going to need a little bit of help. And taken down after only a couple of yards is going to be Noel. It's 3rd and 4. It's a manageable 3rd down. It's Bossier City's first 3rd down of this football game. Here comes a pretty big play.
God, I tell you what, though, I think Rob Noel's life was flashing before his eyes there. Did you see John Osiris coming off that edge? But I mean, this really is a key 3rd down. But, you know, Bossier City only 11th in the league on 3rd down conversions, 51%.
Pickler throws, tipped, incomplete. That was tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was very close. Max Jackson in the area. He's the one who got his hand on the football, and that is going to create a 4th down. Bossier City will punt it away.
And again, these safeties getting involved early and often here, Curtis. And when you get those kind of situations where you know the offense has some kind of target line to game, wherever you can compress the field and get the safeties down towards the line of scrimmage, you let them make plays. And when they're able to make plays, you've got 2 Hall of Famers back there.
Is up and gone. It is going to be a bounce at the 5, and then at the goal line and into the end zone it will go. And they'll start this next drive at the 20-yard line. We are still scoreless in this game, believe it or not. Even with the turnovers that we've had, neither team has found pay dirt. It's still scoreless with 3:05 left in this first quarter of play.
Well, I believe that, Curtis. I mean, for the most part, it's been good execution from both these offenses. Obviously, more so on Bossier City side, looking at that yards graphic there on the top left. But it just feels like, you know, when the time comes to strike, to get that final ball, it feels like there's a little bit of hesitation, sloppiness, whatever it is. It's preventing these teams from putting those points on the board.
Right with the handoff on a delay. It's going to be a couple yards going forward. It's a 4-yard gain for Morrison. And as long as he continues to get those 4 yards, 6 to 6 yards on 1st down, it will put Mexico City in a pretty good spot. They have yet to lean on Ray Bentley for anything yet in this game.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of Ray Bentley yet so far. And you have to ask, you know, when's he going to get involved? When's he going to make that impact on the game that he always does?
The outside. Oh, it's a shovel play that Sipe was trying to get into the fullback's hands, it looks like. 3rd and 6 coming up as that was stopped.
Yeah, that's great reaction time from Biff Markham, the defensive tackle there. But, I mean, you have to question the play design a little bit there from Sipe in particular because, you know, if you're going for that shovel pass, you really want that defensive line to be more spread out, more fanned towards the edges there so you have a bit of room up the middle.
3 to the right in the bunch, 1 to the left as well. Sipe on 3rd down. Looking to throw this, does, over the middle. That's caught just to the left of the hash marks, getting it to the 40-yard line, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered for Jason Bartley.
I mean, that's just a case of hat on hat, Curtis. You know, the blitz was coming through there. Sipe had no more time to make a decision there, and, you know, it really just came down to Jason Bartley, again, sack Holdorf, and Holdorf just didn't make the play in time. 1st down, Aztecs.
Mexico City moving the ball. They're at the 41-yard line. Still have yet to see midfield on this drive. They're a couple plays into it. Sipe backs up, looks, wings it over the middle. That one's caught again, right about the same spot, left of the hash marks, and that is going to give them a good-looking first down for Bill Henry, the tight end.
You know, we talk a lot in the league about how good tight ends can be such a mismatch for defenses to cover, Curtis. And, you know, I think Bill Henry goes a little bit under the radar in terms of those kind of conversations of the top tier tight ends. But we got to talk about him because, you know, he's such a good vet in the league. You know, he's been here 9 seasons now. He's an all-star tight end. And when you match him up against a free safety, he's just got that leverage and that frame.
Not to mention, I guess, a linebacker, too. He's got the size advantage with those of them as well. That's going to be a run that doesn't go very far. It's a 1-yard gain. I think that one actually would have been Morrison, and it is second down.
Yeah, the linebackers for Bossier City right now playing really good get-to-the-ball style defense. You know, they swarm these running backs early on. Don't let them get into the open space and get that head of steam.
It's at the 35-yard line in plus territory. That's a handoff and a run for Morrison, and he will have a few more to add on to his totals. 3rd and 4 coming up for Mexico City, and they have eclipsed the total yards line, essentially taking the lead in that regard.
It's been a good drive so far. You see the wide receivers in the backfield again, Dumas alongside Odobe in that fullback spot.
I formation.
So they're almost certainly not going to run it here, you'd think.
Bartley's in motion, headed to the bottom of your screen. They very well could run. It's a QB sneak, and not going to get there. 4th and 1. Sipe is taken down just before he got to the line to gain. And what a play that was. Bob Funk with the stop.
I tell you what, it's an interesting wrinkle for sure. You know, you sub out some of the personnel there, make them potentially relax a little bit on the front four, but good job by Bossier City to not relax, to expect the unexpected there and take Sipe down just before that first down marker.
Right hash, Chaz Blackwater hooking this back into the middle, and he gets it right down the middle. 3-0 lead for Mexico City, capping off an 8-play, 50-plus yard drive.
It's a great drive. Sipe's been awesome so far tonight. 5 of 6 for 63 yards. No turnovers, which has been the key thing so far tonight. And, you know, Morrison's off to a slow start so far. 6 carries, 13 yards, had the fumble. But if he can just get into it, you know, he showed it on that last drive. When you can just put your head down, hit the right gap, and keep those legs moving, that's really all his team is probably going to be asking from you tonight.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He had a much better drive that go-around, as this will be a return. Juke move is going to get them to the left of the hash marks to the 27-yard line, and that was Dave Axis on that return. Here come the Steamers on their 3rd drive of the ball game. Still have yet to see the end of the first quarter, but it's coming soon as the Johnny Pickler-led Bossier City Steamers trying to answer back the field goal.
I'll tell you what, though, Curtis, Dave Axis is playing like he's got something to prove tonight. You know, he's got 2 receptions, 29 yards already. He's returning the kicks, making moves. I really like what we've seen from him so far tonight.
Yeah, his effort level's been high, no doubt about that. Start this drive at the 27-yard line, likely the last play of this first quarter. This is a juke move that will try to shimmy his way through, and Noel gets a total of 4 yards, and that will do it for the first frame of action. 3-0 lead, Mexico City on top of Bossier City as we end the first quarter of play. It's the Simulation Football League on the Virtual Football Network. Chris Curtis, Brandon Walters in the broadcast booth with you, JW Hartshorn and Eddie Gage in the stats truck with you as we get the second quarter underway. And thank you for spending your afternoon here with us at the SFL. I formation. 4-3 look on defense for Mexico City as they switch sides and start moving left to right across your screen. Pickler in a second down. See what he can do to get the Steamers offense moving. It'll be a toss play to Noel, and he's tried that a couple times, but that toss really should go in the trash as that has not worked well for them on numerous attempts.
Well, it looks like they're trying to go for some kind of misdirection. You saw they moved the tight end that was on that side over to the other side of the line. You know, you're trying to fool that defense into thinking, oh, they're going to stack on that right side and go that way. And instead, you know, you go with the misdirection pitch there. But, yeah, I have to agree. If not for Noel pumping the legs, it would have been a loss of 2.
It's left side, and Pickler a little overzealous of his target. He was looking to hit his receiver on that left side, but couldn't quite get it done, and that's going to create a 4th down. It'll be a punt going back to Mexico City.
Yeah, trying to hit Jeff Banfield, he hasn't had a catch so far today, which is probably not what you want to see considering he had such a good game, last week, and he's the leading receiver on the team so far in the season.
Low snap, handled well, punt is gone, and it is not returned. It'll be caught at the 24-yard line, fair catch called for and taken. And here come the Aztecs. They have a chance to make it a 2-possession lead on the road. You don't want to go down by 2 possessions or more against Mexico City. It's so hard to get them to concede points when they're ahead. So
Absolutely.
This becomes a major defensive drive for Bossier City.
You want to hear the fans get behind him for sure.
Yep, see what they can do. This will be a handoff. It is Morrison. He stays on his feet. He only gained a yard there, but that continues to show the effort level of Morrison. He breaks that first, maybe second tackle almost every time through the middle.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy feat for him. He's only 200 pounds. So if you can break a tackle from a linebacker or even a defensive lineman, it's really showing how much he wants it tonight.
That's to the outside, and that is going to not go very far either. No gain on the play, and that's up a 3rd and long. It's a Ray Bentley sighting on the reception.
Yeah, it's a rough first carry for Bentley, though. I mean, this defense so far has really been good at, getting everyone to the ball as quickly as possible. You break the first tackle, but it's going to be hard to break the second or third one. That's what the defense is relying on right now.
Here we go. Bossier City trying to get off the field. It's a quarters look on offense for Mexico City. They'll move one in motion. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Got to get this out. Sight in trouble. Breaks the sack, and it's incomplete. Downfield, knocked away by the safety at the last possible second. It's a 3 and out. Mexico City will punt it away.
Good hit by Bob Funk there, but I mean, the strength from Sight to hold off the sack there and keep the eyes downfield, that's great quarterback play. That's the kind of quarterback play from someone who's won the last 2 championship games in a row, Curtis, but unfortunately, it just doesn't work out there on the 3rd down.
Just back for the return. Bossier City about to get this football back. That was nearly blocked, but they do get it away. That is returnable from the 26-yard line. Broken tackle, get it to the 30, and that is where Axis will get taken down. Here comes the Bossier City offense. They got to try to find something to work with here. They're down 3 as we get to the midpoint point of the second quarter.
They started so hot, with the mid to deep range game in the seams, over the middle of the field, and they've kind of gone away from that here in the towards the end of the first and into the second quarter. I want to see that return.
3 to the left, 1 to the right. Handoff through the middle. That's going to be a 2-yard gain through it. That's 2 more yards to add on to his totals. Max Jackson on the stop. It's 2nd and 8.
He's such a pleasure to watch, Curtis. I mean, he's so quick coming down from that safety position. He covers about 15 yards of grass in probably, a second and a half.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's been good for a lot of seasons.
You said it.
Motion man, tight end off to the right now.
That's access on the line there.
It is. He is in the tight end spot, or so to speak. This is going to be over the middle and caught. Found the seam between 5 different members of the Aztec defense, and that is Jeff Banfield on his first catch.
That's a great throw by Johnny Pickler. It's all about the timing there, Curtis. We talk a lot about these one-cut routes in the SFL. You plant your foot, you make one explosive cut, usually to the inside, and then your quarterback is right there with the pass. You give the coverage, the corner, and the safety no time to react at all, and it's great execution there from Johnny Pickler.
Go to throw again. Over the top. It's picked off. 3rd pick of the first half for Johnny Pickler. Picks number 7, 8, and 9 for the number 14 on Bossier City. And that is going to be Mexico City ball as Osiris has his 2nd pick of the day.
Yeah, whenever a linebacker gets 2 picks on you in, a quarter and change, you're having a bad game so far. And unfortunately for Johnny Pickler, he's looked great at times, and then, he just ends up turning the ball over. I don't know what to say about it, really. It's just so unfortunate to see for Johnny Pickler, and it's got to be really deflating for this offense. Every time it feels like they have momentum, it's gone again in an instant.
Never seen the shadow of the Dags Droneworks blimp above the field like that. That is special. 2nd and 9 on a 1-yard gain. And I think Dags definitely paid some extra money for that giant shadow to be over the field there.
Well, it's a bit of promotion, I mean, if you got your team on the field, you might as well get your blimp in the shot, too. So that way we talk about it, which we are.
Exactly.
So it works out. Money well spent, Mike.
Yeah, there you go. It wasn't a huge lot of money coming up to Louisiana from Mexico, so there's at least that. That's going to be right side, incomplete. Guess it depends on what part of Mexico, though.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably saving at least a little bit on fuel costs, but either way, it's a good throw by Sipe there again. He goes to that corner route there towards the sideline, but it's just tight coverage from Bossier City's part. This defense has played great so far tonight.
It has. Bossier City trying to make this turnover go away. 3rd and 9 for Mexico City.
Zone again here.
Sipe throws. It's a wing pass and incomplete. Tipped away again. The pass deflection is gorgeous, and it's 4th down. Mexico City will get it away again.
We talked a lot so far about the Aztec safeties, Dags and Jackson, but Bob Funk for the Steamers is matching them blow for blow right now. It's like a heavyweight title bout right now, Curtis. These guys are just going at it right now. Every time someone lands a punch, there's a counter punch coming right back at you.
These two teams are combined 1 for 7 on 3rd down so far. Mexico City is 1 for 5. That is a decent return on the punt for Dave Access to the 24-yard line. And now here comes the Bossier City offense as they come back out onto the field. Got to try to kill the turnover bug. That's the biggest thing that's eluding them right now. They have no points on the board. It's because they keep throwing it to the other team.
Yeah, you just got to clean that up. But I mean, other than that, the offense has been flashing. That 3rd down stat you mentioned, I think, is really key in telling how good Bossier City's been defensively so far tonight, because Mexico City, number 1 in the league on 3rd down conversion percentage, 64%.
Pickler throws in trouble, got the seam. Wow. Talk about finding the window. He did just that. Banfield's 2nd catch of the game. It's 1st down.
No, I'll tell you what, that's a great play by Jeff Banfield, first and foremost. You see the throw there, it's a little bit inside. Banfield recognizes the potential danger because of the Aztecs defenders in that area, and he bends the run inside so fast, basically just cuts off those Aztecs corners and gives them no chance at all to get to the ball there. It's a great play by a wide receiver. 1st and 10 for Bossier City. They'll move Access to the left of the formation. He's in that tight end spot again. Looks like Mexico City may send some help. Nope, they send 4. Pickler looking, moving out of the pocket, throws left, trying for an escape valve. Nice job by Calia on the spin move. Ooh. And he stays in bounds. It gets all the way down to the 32-yard line, well within Mexico City territory. What a grab. John Osiris gets his revenge on the tackle at the end there. But I mean, again, Curtis, this is what we're talking about. You take what the defense gives you. Pickler holds as long as he can. He finds someone open underneath and lets the receiver make the play happen. Calia, great spin move, great tackle block there. A lot of credit's got to go to him for getting all the yards out of that play there. But, the decision-making from Pickler, that's what we need to see for the rest of the game here. You've got to cut out the turnovers, take what the defense will give you, and let your guys go out there and make the plays.
I wonder if we're going to get a challenge before this play gets off. It looks like he did step out of bounds. Nope, they don't call it. Left side, that's caught. Down to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10. Another one finds the target, and Pickler starting to heat up.
Yeah, we're going back to those quick hitters, and this is where Pickler is best. He takes that 2-3 step drop, sets, throws immediately, and the defense just doesn't have any time to react there. And Jeff Banfield, I think, was in coverage there against a linebacker. Yeah, against Colson Yulia, which, putting Jeff Banfield up against a linebacker, unfair matchup to say the least. 3rd reception of the game for Banfield, 2 on this drive. 1st and 10. Pressure. Pickler's brought down. For the 10th time this season, he is brought down, and it is 2nd and long. Crushed by Saron Yates, the 4th right there. Just had no chance whatsoever. Again, coming off that blind side, and, that time Pickler just doesn't have the time to even think about reacting to it, but great job by the 2-time All-Star.
Here comes Pickler again, 2nd and long. They're not out of scoring range. They can at least potentially tie this game with a field goal if it comes down to that. 2nd and long here. Got to try to find something out of the pocket. Throws, end zone, it's a touchdown! Jeff Banfield back in the end zone by himself, and Bossier City takes the lead.
I'll tell you what made the play there, Curtis. It's the offensive line. Pickler has all kinds of time there, can sit and wait as long as he likes, and as soon as he sees Max Jackson make the commitment to follow the route across the middle of the field, he knows that Banfield's going to be open on that far right side, puts it out on a wire to him. A good throw, a good catch, but really the offensive line is what makes it happen there.
Yeah, they took the 2 sack threats and brought them down to the ground before Pickler got taken down. That kick is up, and it is good on the extra point. And Bossier City takes a 7-3 lead over Mexico City. That's the kind of explosion that we wanted to see from the Bossier City offense. We get it here in the latter part of the second quarter.
You read my mind, Curtis. That was exactly the word I was going to use. Explosive offense. That's what this Bossier City team can do when they're firing on all cylinders, when that paddle wheel is turning as quick as it'll go.
Mexico City going to go for the return on this from the 5-yard line. They do have some time here, so it's not a huge deal yet. That's a good-looking return.
Ooh.
It is a real good-looking return for Max Jackson. And no, not Max Jackson. That is a nice run back from Jared Dumas, and it gets them a good starting field position on this drive.
Yeah, love that. I thought he might have actually broken it out there. I think he was out the last guy to beat there. Unfortunate to not have a chance to run it all the way back for a touchdown, but still, a great return there. And that sets up this Mexico City offense in the great field position that they've had for the majority of the game so far. Curtis, we talk about the turnovers. Obviously the momentum is a big thing, but also the field position. It really assists Mexico City when you can have those shorter fields. They get another one here.
7-3, Bossier City has the lead. Mexico City first drive after giving up the game-leading touchdown. Bill Henry is the motion man. The tight end moves from left to right across the formation. Sipe is under center. Morrison is in the backfield. Toss play Morrison. Right side, get a spin out of 1 and gets taken down by that same tackler. 4 yards, so not the worst thing, but they are content to run the ball here with 4:07 left in the second quarter.
I know you're not going to believe me, but I was just about to say maybe they're going to go to that pitch play again there. And I like that play design. You bring Henry over to give a little bit of extra coverage there for Morrison to get up to speed and, get that head of steam going.
That's a run forward, nearly a first down. Didn't quite get it, as that was the fullback on that, Buford Van Dam.
And I'll tell you what, Curtis, I love fullbacks. The running style is so different from what you see from most of the running backs in the game. And, it's great to watch these guys because they get, such a short amount of time to get up to the line. They can really burst through there like Sipe just did.
Yeah, Sipe on the QB sneak. You thought something was going to be a little weird there. Jared Dumas was the deep back in that I formation. So you thought maybe it was going to be a Sipe run forward. It was, and he gets a first down.
I tell you what, though, that's a bit of a tell. If they do that every single time they're expecting Sipe to tuck and run, Bossier City could really adjust to that.
That's going to be to the outside. Morrison again, broken tackle. He gets taken down after a 4-yard gain into Mexico City territory. They go at the 37-yard line.
And, as we mentioned, it's all about the effort running right now from Jacob Morrison. Every first tackle is being broken, Curtis. And these are guys, Freddie Trammell is 6'1", 259 linebacker, and you're just shrugging off that tackle like it's nothing. That's indicative of the effort level.
That is Bartley moving right to left across the formation. I formation for Mexico City. Sipe to the outside. Going to put it in the hands of, that is the tight end, I believe. No, that was Dumas again. Another chance for Dumas. They've tried that shallow play to Dumas a couple times. Worked the first time, not so much the second.
Yeah, that's the misdirection there. Sometimes if they have him in the backfield, they'll try and go to that swing play instead. But so far, Bossier City, I feel like, is really focused on covering the short routes.
Throwing this to the outside. Another one, broken tackle, first down. Morrison on the swing pass gets enough for the first to move the chains.
Yeah, getting close to field goal range here. I'd say you're probably in range now for Chaz Blackwater at this point. But, obviously you're looking for the touchdown. You got to try and respond and, get that home crowd a bit quieter again.
That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning, which may quell a decent amount of momentum there. 120 seconds left to halftime, and Bossier City with the lead 7-3 over the 2-time defending champs. Morrison, the lone back as we get back underway from Red River Stadium. Sipe under center, pitch play, Morrison again. Third time they've gone to that pitch play this drive. This one doesn't go for very far and make it a 2nd and 10.
Bogey Barr's had an awesome game tonight from that linebacker position, Curtis. Every time they go to that outside there, he's so quick to respond, and he's got such speed that by the time the running back's able to curve upfield and start getting yards, they've already got a linebacker right in their face.
At 35 to go in the second quarter, Sipe in trouble. Now throws right side, incomplete. And that creates a 3rd and 10. They've already converted on 2 third downs on this drive, looking for a 4th one. They're looking for a 3rd one here.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely, helping out that efficiency percentage so far tonight. It was looking a bit dire at the beginning of the game. It's coming up now to a healthier level there. Unfortunate for Sipe. I thought that was a good throw. Just unfortunate not to be able to connect with Noe Terrazas there.
3rd and 10. Sipe is under center, has the football. They send an extra blitz, throws right side. That's caught down to the 14-yard line, and that is right in Noe Terrazas' wheelhouse, his second catch.
It's a great play call, I have to say. I don't know if they felt the blitz coming or not there, but they have Morrison stand in as the extra blocker there, and Terrazas just has the inside leverage on his Michaela Foraker there, and it's going to be tough for as good as Michaela Foraker is, it's going to be tough to beat someone like Noe Terrazas when they've got the inside leverage.
Is a run right side, and it's a decent one. Ray Bentley sighting on the run will get them to 2nd and medium.
It's a nice run for Bentley there, and it's great because it opens up the playbook so much. Now you're 2nd and 3. You're this close to the goal line, which means that you can still run the ball and have a good chance of success, which is awesome because things get so congested down here.
2 to the right, 2 in the backfield. 4-3 look on defense. Sipe looking to finish this drive. Backs up, 5-step drop pressure coming, and he gets it away. It's incomplete. Knocked away at the last possible second as Gunny McGuire's over there to put it into the sideline. It's 3rd down.
It's the second time now Sipe's been able to shake off a sack attempt and get the ball out of the backfield. So great job from him to avoid, adding to his sack tally, but a good coverage from Gunny McGuire. He followed that route all the way, trying to cut towards that back right pylon, and he read it all the way. Beautiful coverage.
3rd and 3. Plenty of options in the playbook for this distance. They can get a first down at the 3-yard line.
Man coverage now.
See what they can do one-on-one. Maybe they go to the outside. Sipe backs it up, 3-step drop. Throw to the outside, trying to turn the corner. Not going to get there. 4th and 1. Timeout taken by Mexico City. And now a decision time, probably a field goal.
Yeah, I think you got to take the points here. It would put you within 1, so I think that's a safe play to make there. But great tackle by Pink Lisa. Again, they go to that short route for Morrison. They're trying to work those underneaths, but there's 3 Bossier City defenders there expecting it. Again, the congestion just makes things so difficult for these passing offenses.
21-yard chip shot field goal from Blackwater right hash is good, capping off a 13-play drive that took a majority of the rest of the first half. So good work from Mexico City to try to kind of prioritize their own time. And with 53 seconds left, Bossier City does have all 3 timeouts.
Yeah, I like the response there. You just saw Bossier City drive down the field explosively and go get that touchdown to take the lead there. And in response, you take a nice measured long drive and work the ball, matriculate the ball down the field a little bit. You get yourself some points right before the half here. Defense has got to step up here and get back into halftime lockers, only 1 point down.
I may be the only one on this hill, but that word needs to go away. Matriculate down the field. That is the worst word to say, move down the field, I've ever heard.
It's a piece of football history, though, Curtis. And it's not a real word.
Matriculate down the... Yeah, I was saying, you matriculate yourself away. That's going to be incomplete. Dropped at the last possible second. Jeffrey Daggs in the area helped secure that incompletion, 2nd and 10.
It's unfortunate for Garrison Blue. He's had a great season so far from tight end, and that would have been a grett way to get his first catch of the game there. It really could have sparked something for this offense, because if you get that catch, you've got all 3 timeouts. You'd be at around the 35, 40-yard line. Then you could really start talking about going down and potentially putting up some points to end the half.
They're in trouble. Throws. That's an escape valve play for Katya, and that's a couple of yards forward, getting 6 yards out of it. 3rd and 4 coming up.
Yeah, and again, the key is to avoid the turnovers, Curtis. If you turn the ball over here, and potentially give Mexico City a chance for easy points right before the half to take the lead, could be absolutely catastrophic. So ball security, ball security, ball security.
Eckler backs it up. Is it enough ball security? That's the question. Left side. Got a catch up there. What a grab for Jeff Banfield. 1st and 10, and they're on the precipice of field goal range.
He's on a century already, Banfield. Great game for him.
Handoff, not much there. They should call a timeout here in theory.
Timeout.
They're not going to.
No,
they do.
They got it.
They got it away. So good timeout taken, and they have a chance to huddle up and see what they're going to do here with just a few seconds to go.
I think you just got to go deep with a Hail Mary here. And I mean, so far the deep passing's been great for them. So there's every chance that you could catch it and potentially, hey, break a tackle or two. Maybe you're going to the end zone, but it looks like they're going to try and run it.
Yeah, I formation. This feels like a run. And it will be a run to the right side. That is a Noel run. Doesn't get them very far. Are they going to take another timeout? It does not look like it. I think they're going to let it go, and they do to the half. So halftime has come. Mexico City going to get the ball back when we return to Red River Stadium. But let's talk about the way this first half has progressed. Bossier City up 7-6. Brandon, the floor is yours.
I mean, it's been two very different, game styles so far tonight, Curtis. For Bossier City, explosive deep plays, but that brings in the risk of turnovers, and we've seen it tonight. 3 interceptions for Pickler, and it's been tough sledding, in terms of staying consistent and keeping hold of the football. On the other side, Mexico City so far hasn't really been that explosive. Sipes only on 82 yards passing through 7 completions. Their top runner right now, Morrison's only got 31 yards on the ground, but they're able to hold on to the ball. They've only had the 1 fumble so far tonight. They're able to move the ball down the field in a more measured manner. We're seeing the clash of the two styles here. So far, the explosive guys, are on top by 1 point. It's been a very tight game so far. You're going to have to see the second half adjustments here. How is Mexico City going to react to the deep passing, and how is Bossier City going to try and, make sure that their defense stays stout against this Mexico City team?
Chris Curtis, Brandon Walters back in the broadcast booth with you at Red River Stadium. J.W. Hartshorn and Eddie Gage on stats, and we're about to get underway with the second half of action. Bossier City has a 1-point lead against the 2-time defending champs of Mexico City Aztecs. As we get things going, it'll be the Aztecs starting with the football 10 yards deep in their own end zone. It'll be a touchback, and it'll start out at the 20-yard line. Need to see more from Sipe, getting the ball downfield. These shallow plays and these pitches to Morrison just really are not cutting it. Need to start seeing them move vertical.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been vertical at times. Terrazas, Henry have had big catches downfield, but yeah, it's not been consistent enough from this offense. You got to try and make the defense respect you and step off the line of scrimmage a little bit more.
Another toss play from Morrison. This one has at least some legs to it. It'll be a 5-yard gain going off the right tackle, and that is going to be 2nd and 5 coming up.
Yeah, that time Bogey Barr got a good block on him from the right tackle there. Really opened it up, because usually he's so quick that he gets there before he can be blocked. And at that point, Jacob Morrison one-on-one with the linebacker. He'll break the tackle. He's been doing that all night tonight, but he'll lose a lot of the speed that he's gained.
Ooh, Buford Van Dam with a nice run up the middle. He will move to the left and get a first down. Second rush of the game for the fullback, and it is a 1st and 10.
Love it. You got to keep it varied. They've been going to the outside all night tonight. You're trying to see that defense, probably expecting that a little bit more here. So you go up the middle with your fullback, let him put a helmet in somebody's chest and get those yards for you.
1st and 10. Pitch play again for Morrison. This one has some legs to it as well. Got to break a tackle. Does. Trying to break a second one. Does not. But he does get the first down as they get to the 47-yard line. That play was not working in the first half. It seems to be catching something here in the second half.
Yeah, and I mean, it really is like a boxer right now. You get the inside or the outside, and then back to the outside again. You're trying to shift your opponent's guard a little bit to open them up for the big knockout blow opportunities. I feel like that's what we're getting here from Mexico City so far on this drive here, is you're trying to, move that defense around to where you want them to be, so then you can hit them over the top with the big play.
Sipe has yet to throw on this drive. That is Dumas in the motion. Throw for Sipe. That's caught. Looking for Dumas and finding him. And that is going to be a 1st and 10 one more time.
I don't think that is Dumas. I think that's Curtis
No,
Conway.
That
Number
is
81.
Wow. Okay.
Great catch coming off the bench. I mean, again, we talk about it all the time. Everyone on the team's got to contribute. Even if you're coming off the bench, you're not someone who gets that many reps in the game. You still got to come in and be able to make that impact there. Good job by Conway.
Interesting decision to bring Conway in that spot, but I mean, the tall frame really helps him make that catch. 1st and 10.
Might have been a fitness decision.
That'll be a chance for Morrison. Has to hurdle a defender and gets a couple of yards. 2nd and 7 coming up. They are mixing the ball really well in this game. The runs, the passes, it's been pretty good so far. They have not been one-dimensional by any stretch.
Yeah, I love it. It's a great balanced offense. We've seen everything so far tonight from Mexico City. It remains whether or not they can really translate that into good points, but at least, the overall picture is looking pretty good.
And off again. This one not going to go very far. Ray Bentley on the carry will get them a couple. 3rd and 5 coming up as Mexico City has another third down in front of them. They've really brought their percentage up. They're 4 for 9 right now. This is going to be their 10th third down attempt in this football game.
Well, we'll have to see if they can get it, though. I mean, you're set up potentially to go to that pitch play again, but I mean, I don't know if you try and run it here, maybe. If they're going to move Henry to that right side, then they might try.
This is a pitch play for sure. It's got to be just based on the motion. We've seen this a couple times already. See what happens with the pitch. They don't pitch it. No, throw over the middle. No, right side anyway. And that is incomplete. Bartley was in the area, and that is incomplete. 4th and 6 coming up. Chance for Chaz Blackwater to give Mexico City the lead in theory.
Yeah, it's just a bit too much spice there from sight. But I mean, again, you know, that's what we're talking about, misdirection. You're always trying to fool the defense.
Oh,
you know, that was
this.
Are they really just out of range there? I thought they might have been.
It looks like it. Yeah, I thought they were at the 32-yard line. They were at the 32-yard line. It only would have been a 49-yarder from there. But instead, it's going to be a short punt that will, well, it'll matriculate down the field. There you go. It's the 13-yard line.
You were coming at me.
Yeah, I know.
Me to not use that word, and then you come
I know.
Wow. All right. I see how it is, Chris. I see how it is.
It's called the double standard. You got to be here longer than that.
You know what? That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Well, Pickler's going to get the ball back here on the 12-yard line. If they can put together another drive, really get the fans behind him at this point, you know, you could be looking at, you know, maybe could we, you know.
Oh, that is a chance. But Noel stuck behind his blocker, and that is going to make it 2nd and 10. No gain on the play.
Yeah, it felt like he was pushing, and then just as he was about to actually break off of that offensive line and have the daylight on the outside there was Liam Ryan saying, no yard gain.
2 to the right, 1 to the left. Pickler's under center. The leading passing offense in the league has not disappointed. They have not run the ball a whole lot in this contest.
Banfield uncovered in the slot.
Yep, and maybe where they go. Pickler is going to go over the middle. That's incomplete. Well-timed hit. Brings Calia out of the range of the catch, and it's 3rd and long coming.
Man, I mean, you know, it's hard to critique the decision considering he's been making those high-point catches all game, but it's really tough to throw it up to Vin Calia when he's covered that tightly on the bracket there by the corner and I think it was a linebacker, and expect him to come down with that. It's a tough assignment.
3rd down and 10. They are 1 for 3 on 3rd downs in this game. Bossier City needs it. It's Calia. This one he doesn't need the high point for. He'll bring it in 1st and 10.
John Fowler was so close to getting the tip there.
Was.
He's probably a couple of inches away. I want to see it from Pickler's perspective here. I'll talk about the faith from Johnny Pickler that he's going to put it in the right spot there, because Fowler, it goes right over his helmet. I mean, you know, if he had a bit taller of a neck, he probably would have deflected that pass on his own there. But
yeah, if he was a giraffe, that'd have been fine. No,
great. You know, that's what they called me in high school, Curtis. You put me in there, I would have deflected that pass.
Pickler looking to get rid of this. Throws right side, incomplete.
Flag.
There is a flag, and it looks like DPI on Mexico City.
I want to get a replay of that, Curtis. I think that might have been a bit of a ticky-tacky call.
I disagree. I think that his progress was definitely obstructed here. We'll see it here.
Oh, I think
turned into him
right at the end there. Yeah, I think it turned in. It was a bit, you know, a bit borderline up until that point. I think that just kind of tipped the ref's hand in favor of the penalty there, but it's close.
Yeah. It is definitely 7-6. Bossier City has the lead. They're going to open up the middle on the defensive line. 1st and 10, maybe try to get their edge rushers. A little bit of a run around the side. That is going to be a catch. Pickler, man, for better or worse, he will always trust his arm. It does not matter. He will put it as hard as he can into a spot.
I mean, that's what you want from your quarterback, though. You can't have a guy behind center who's going to, second guess and, potentially take something off the pass because he's worried about, is someone going to be in the lane? Is someone going to intercept it? You've got to have the commitment to, put the power behind the throw, to try and put it where you think you're going to, have it. And Pickler's been great at that so far tonight, for the most part.
That is caught. How? Good Lord, Vincalia. That man was horizontal in the air as he brought that one in. It's 1st down. Garrison Blue was on the catch before that, by the way, for those of you scoring at home. and it is Bossier City offense time as they have it in offensive territory.
Oh man, Vin Callia is having such a great game tonight. 6 catches on 8 targets for 85 yards. You know, Banfield has got the yards mark on him so far tonight, but Callia, I think, has really been the more impressive receiver so far.
The athleticism has been great.
Yeah, the contested catches, the way he takes the short ones and, you know, turns them into a lot of yardage. I think he's been great tonight.
4 wide. Pickler throws. That one's caught at the 11-yard line. They are moving it well. Jeff Banfield has several catches in this game. That one goes for a chunk. It is 1st and 10.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, and then Jeff Banfield gets to profit in a way from, you know, Vin Callia putting in that heavy physical work there because he makes the great cut there. Fowler drops off so early that, you know, Jeff Banfield, all he has to do is take a half step off of his speed and, you know, sit in that little soft spot on the defense there. And, you know, credit to Pickler. He sees it instantly, throws it in there. Great catch, great first down.
7 catches, nearly 100 yards on the day for Callia. 1st and 10. He has that touchdown from earlier as well. Or that was actually Banfield. Apologies. Offset eye look. 2 on the right, 1 on the left. That's going to be a handoff trying to get left for Noel. He's going to try to stiff arm his way through. He'll get 6 yards, make it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, I think he ran about 15 yards in order to get those 6, Curtis. But it's a good run from Rob Noel there. You know, when you find the lane, you know, even if it requires you to kind of bend and weave, it's still good to, you know, hit it with all that speed there. And Rob Noel has had a bit of a slower start to this season compared to last, but I think he's starting to pick up steam.
That's going to be through the middle. Chance to get there. Not going to happen. He does make it 1st and goal there. It's Nemchik with a couple of yards when he needed it most. It's on the 1-yard line.
You love to see that, Curtis. It's only his 2nd carry of the game, you know, and it's tough sometimes to, you know, be able to maintain that level of, you know, that level of sharpness, that level of intensity when you're not getting all the carries, when you're not getting warmed up there. But a great carry by Nemchik.
Closing in on 300 all-purpose yards or all total yards on offense for Bossier City. That's a pitch play, and that was well read. Max Jackson read that before the snap even happened. You saw him moving in that direction.
And that's the Hall of Fame level intellect, Curtis. You know, this is a guy who's been there and seen it so many times, and he's able to just stand there and immediately diagnose the play and just blow it up in the backfield. Beautiful play by the free safety, the strong safety.
Formation, 2nd and goal, Bossier City trying to take a 2-possession lead in theory in this football game. Move the fullback to the right. Maybe they're going that way. Maybe it's misdirection. They do go that way. Noel, stiff arm, end zone, touchdown! Bossier City with another touchdown, big-time drive from Pickler and company.
Yeah, I love that from Rob Noel and this offensive, you know, calling staff. You know, Garrison Blue knows that play has the potential to work if it's executed properly. He goes to it again, gives the fullback that shift to the right side to get that little bit of extra help with the blocking, and he relies on his guys to make the plays. Rob Noel puts the stiff arm out there, breaks the 1 tackle, hits the pylon at the right angle, touchdown Bossier City. They're going to take an 8-point lead. Humongous drive here for this game there. That could be all in terms of what you need for the momentum in this one.
10 plays, 80 yards, taking plenty of time off the clock. It's an 8-point game. Mexico City has come back from deficits like this before, so this is not out of the realm of possibility by any stretch. A lot of football left to be played with 2 minutes, 36 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. This will be returned. 15 to the 20, the 25 spin move to get him to the 29-yard line, and Bartley has a nice return on the kickoff. Here come the Aztecs offense. This is actually their 2nd drive of the 2nd half. See what they can do.
You know, it's an interesting note that we talked about in the pregame, Curtis, is that, you know, this series between these two franchises at home, Bossier City's actually 10-2 all time. This is the first time that Mexico City has been to Bossier City because all those games, you know, were previous with Alamo City,
Seattle,
and other places.
Dallas, that kind of thing.
Yeah, all of them. But, you know, if the home fans can really get behind this defense like they have all night here, you really could see this game kind of grind into this defensive slugfest.
2 yards on 1st down from Morrison. Not a lot there. See what that's Bentley in the backfield here. See what he can do on 2nd down. I anticipate this will probably be a run then. And it will, through the middle. He's going to have a spin move and get close to that 1st down marker. It is 3rd and inches, and a huge 3rd down coming here for Mexico City. They can ill afford a 3-and-out.
It's a good block by Ogden Foundy there because, you know, the center getting so far up the field to block Bogey Barr, a guy who's been giving him nightmares in the running game so
Yeah.
It's a great block. They're going to go to that quarterback sneak again, Curtis. I can feel it.
Yep, it looks like it. No, it will be right there. That is a sneak and a slide and a first down for Mexico City. You saw it because you saw Dumas that was in the deep back again.
Yep. Yeah, it's that telegraph, unfortunately. I don't know what it is with the personnel substitutions right now, but if Bossier City gets wise to that, they stop the first quarterback sneak of the game. If they get wise to that again and they can use that tell against this offense, could be a problem later on in the game. Right now, though, working for them.
That's going to be a Morrison toss play. Right side, gets through and tumbles his way forward for a 5-yard gain as Mexico City is skittering their way down the field.
Yeah, good 5-yard gain there, but that's all Morrison in the end there because Rob Foraker is pushing so hard on that right tackle to push him back into the lane. It's 2 plays in a row now. They've gone to that right side pitch, and Jacob Morrison has had to hurdle somebody just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Buford Van Dam with the handoff, and he will get himself 3 more yards, make it 3rd and 1 coming here. Another key 3rd down for Mexico City. This is in their sneak range if they decide to do it. Stuart Amelia on the tackle there, 5th tackle of the game.
It's that same personnel again, Curtis.
Yep, it is. This is another sneak attempt and another first down. They got it. Wow, just barely. But Sipe takes a hit in the process. 1st and 10 Mexico City, and that might be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
It's always a bit of a risk there, when your quarterback is going for it because he's not going to have the time to slide usually. So you're kind of asking your guy to take a hit there and not fumble the ball or get injured.
They will try one more play before the end of the 3rd quarter here. Morrison with the handoff, tries off tackle, stretching it out, didn't work. And that will bring us to the end of the 3rd. Give us all your 4s, all your 86s, all your other numbers all throughout as we get to the 4th quarter. Bossier City up 14-6 on the Aztecs. 4, 86, 12, a lot of other numbers, unfortunately, exist in our mainframe. We are under center. Chance for the Aztecs to work it downfield. They're in offensive territory, and what a grab. The high point from Bill Henry towering above the linebacker to bring that one in.
You got to wonder if it's a bit tough for him to jump that high considering he's a 257-pound guy. But, that's great hops there from the tight end. And again, feels like, he goes a little bit underrated. He doesn't have as much involvement in the game as some of the other top-level tight ends. But whenever he is involved in the game, it's always a big play.
And off Morrison, spin move past 1. He's going to get himself 3. No, they'll say 2. No further than that. And that will work. Fellows the 2nd on the stop. 2nd and 8 for Mexico City. They have it near field goal range, but not quite. They punted it from the 29 earlier, 32 earlier.
This should be in range now, though. I don't think you bet against Blackwater to miss from the 30-yard line.
You'd think. It'd be 47 from this spot. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Got to get through. Not going to happen. Losing a yard there was not in the cards, but they found one way to do it anyway. It's 3rd and 8 coming up.
Bogey Barr has had an amazing game from linebacker today. He's been all over this rushing game. I got to check the stats here just to see how many tackles he's been involved in. 5 tackles and 5 assists so far tonight.
Sipe looks, throws, 3rd down, got it. Bill Henry, 1 more to know. Sorry, that one is going to be the tailback during the QB sneaks. It's Dumas with the grab, their 7th 3rd down conversion of the game.
He's been involved all over the field, Curtis. He takes some of the plays out of the backfield. He's been on the kick returns. He's been making big catches on 3rd downs now, and it's a great play there designed. Sipe rolls to the right side, and he gets all of his guys to cut left to right across the field there, and get that underneath open leverage.
That is a toss play to the left-hand side for Ray Bentley. They gave Bentley that toss instead. They get 4 yards. Mexico City trying to tie this game up. 8 points separating the two teams with 8:07 left in this football game. Mexico City trying to get their 3rd win. Bossier City their 2nd. It's a nickel look on defense. Morrison's in the backfield.
You might see him pitch right side if they're going to move Terrazas over.
It's possible. See if that's where they go. Nope, right down the middle. Trying to get there. Not going to happen. Morrison is tackled right after the handoff. Trammell on the stop, and it's 3rd down again.
He knows his assignment, Freddie Trammell. You know, he knows that he's kind of the guy who's assigned to stay home. Bogey Barr is going to go out and take that outside, you know,
He's
against
that
Bill
filthy
Henry.
boy.
Yeah, and Freddie Trammell's going to stuff that A gap, and he does it beautifully.
Under center, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Sipe looks, throws, caught, slam, first down and goal.
Man, great throw there. Terrazas versus McGuire has been a great matchup so far tonight. You know, we've seen both of them land blows, but a great cut there from Terrazas puts him just on the inside leverage. Again, a great timing route from Sipe there. Do you think they might try and sneak here? I can't tell the personnel.
That's not a sneak. That's Morrison in the backfield. We'll see if they can go that way. Buford Van Dam moves to the left.
No, it's Adobe. It is a sneak.
It will be a sneak, and it's a touchdown. Jordan Sipe gets him within 2 points.
Beautiful run there from Sipe. I couldn't see the numbers, so it was hard to tell the personnel, but I saw Odobe moving in the fullback right at this last second there. Oof. And that's kind of the tip-off you need there. And unfortunately for Bossier City, you know, it's just tough sometimes to, you know, be able to get up in the quarterback's face that quickly there when he's starting right on the line of scrimmage. It's so tough to cover that.
Here we go. Chance for Mexico City, trying to get themselves a 2-point conversion. Biggest play of the game so far, trying to tie this game up. Buford doesn't get it. What a stop. Van Dam goes down, and it is going to be a 14-12 football game.
It's Bogey Barr again, Curtis. He's been everywhere for this run defense so far tonight, and he lays a hit on Buford Van Dam. What a physical move there to, you know, lay out a 6'4", 255 fullback. A great play by Bogey Barr. Awesome job.
Great work. And 5 yards deep in the end zone touchback. Quick trip back to SFL HQ. Cameron Irvine has a game update for us. Go first, sir.
Thank you, Curtis. You guys have had the better game today. Albuquerque lost Cyrus Jive in the first half to a fractured arm, and Baltimore took care of Albuquerque after that. This is a David Anderson touchdown run, and Baltimore cruises 31-10 over Albuquerque. Back to you.
Baltimore definitely needed that win regardless of the conditions that were met. That is going to be incomplete, as that was Garrison Blue on the attempted target. Jeffrey Daggs in the area. He has done that all game long, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, again, Blue has a pass jarred loose from him, and it's unfortunate for the tight end. You know, he's been in the right positions to make plays so far today, just hasn't really been able to connect with Pickler on that level. And whenever he is, feels like there's a safety there ready to smack him.
6:49 left in this fourth quarter. That is incomplete, nearly picked off. Probably should have been. If he has that 9 times out of 10, he brings that in.
I mean, it's a tough job there for John Fowler because he's got to jump and react so quickly there because he's so close to the line of scrimmage. But it's a good job to get the hand up and block that one there. And 3rd down and 10 now, you're going to have to see Pickler go long. And we've seen, you know, not in the second half, but in the first half, turnovers were really a big problem for this offense.
2 for 4 on 3rd downs. Bossier City is, as you can see in your top left. Need to get it to the 30-yard line for the first. Pickler in trouble, moves out of the pocket, tucks it and runs, got a slide, doesn't get it. So that is going to create a 4th down scenario where they give Mexico City back the football with 6:30 left in this 4th quarter.
No, I'll tell you what, though, Curtis, I love it. I love the play there from Pickler. You know, you don't force anything. You don't risk that 4th interception. You take what the defense gives you, and if it doesn't give you anything, just make sure to go down easy. Don't take a hit or an injury or a fumble or anything crazy, and let your defense get out there and get back to work.
It's going to be a fair catch called for at the 40-yard line. So Jordan Sipe, after bringing his team downfield, getting close to tying the game earlier, now has a chance to give them the lead with as much as a field goal in this drive. Biggest drive of the day for both sides. One of these teams has a hero on it. Who's it going to be? I formation, Mexico City. Toss play, Morrison, not going to get very far, gets 3. They'll make it 2nd and 7.
And you saw Barr keeping Van Dam at distance there. I think he just kind of put his shoulder into the fullback to make sure he couldn't actually connect on the block there. It's so good from this run defense so far tonight. Morrison's been good, but this run defense has really been able to limit the effectiveness.
Yeah, he's been nothing if not consistent at the very least. They can count on him for at least 2 to 4 yards pretty much every time. That's going to be a Buford Van Dam run that doesn't go very far. In fact, he's going to lose 2 yards in the process. 3rd and 8 coming up. And another 3rd down attempt for Mexico City.
Yeah, they've really brought it back in the game, though, Curtis. They started really ugly on the third downs, and they've really rallied here so far, throughout the second half in particular. You got to try and watch out on the pass. Zone coverage again here almost certainly from Bossier City.
Better than 50% on third down. Mexico City is 8 for 14. Looking for conversion number 9. They need it. 7-step drop. Sipe got his catch downfield. Oh, what a grab. That was for Noe Terrazas. He moves the chains.
It's so tough to cover a guy like Terrazas. He's so quick. You saw the in cut there. And I mean, he basically makes up all the ground he needs to get the ball there before Foraker or number 44, Bob Funk, can even really get close to the ball there. It's just so hard to cover a guy who's that fast and that able to close those angles off that fast.
Positive territory for Mexico City. 3 to the right in the bunch, 1 to the left. It'll be a toss play for Morrison, and he doesn't get very far at all. It'll be 2 yards there, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, it's been a fight so far for Morrison tonight to try and get those yards. He's been consistent, as you said, tends to break at least 1 tackle on most of these runs, always picks up at least a yard or 2, but it's just been tough sledding, Bossier City's really making a statement that if you want to beat them, you're going to have to beat them through the air.
Under center. They'll move the tight end Henry left to right across the formation. Nickel look on defense. Sipe backs up, throws. Oh, the inside slant was there, but he just missed his target. Terrazas the intention.
Yeah, and again, that's the timing that we're talking about. You got to, be able to put it to the exact spot that your wide receiver is going to be. And the problem is so many things can interfere with that timing. And sometimes, you can just plain miss the spot that you're aiming for. I'm not sure if there was a little bit of a bump there on the route or if Sipe just, kind of airmailed it a little bit in forward.
3rd and 8. Another third down conversion chance. That's caught again. Down to the 27-yard line. Perfectly done for Dumas. 1st and 10, Mexico City.
I think it's that same play from the last drive, Curtis, where they had the right side rollout and everyone's flooding left to right there. But I mean, talk about coolness under pressure from Jordan Sipe. He's got a guy, Rob Foraker's right in his face, about to take him down there for the first sack for Bossier City, and instead, dot to Jared Dumas.
Great job to Dumas trying to secure that football. Came to the ground. That ball was between his waist and his elbow and couldn't hold it any other way. That was key for him. 1st and 10. From the 26-yard line. Throws short. That's caught. Barely, but it's enough. Noe Terrazas, 9-yard gain, 2nd and inches.
Yeah, poor Freddie Trammell there. He's the only guy in the area, and there's 3 Aztecs receivers all kind of ready to get that ball. So really, no matter what choice he makes, it's probably going to be the wrong one, and just not able to get back to Terrazas in time to break up the pass.
2 in the backfield, 1 out. And that's a QB sneak. You saw it coming. And that's a 1st down for Jordan Sipe. That's as good as the old tush push, the way this is being executed. 1st and 10 for Mexico City.
Yeah, they messed it up the first time, but every time since then, it's been executed to perfection. They've been able to pick up an easy 2 to 3 yards every single time, and Sipe has really been able to do it very well so far tonight. But, you're already in the field goal range here. I'm curious to see how they're going to adjust the offense now.
I don't think they adjust a thing. I think things are working. That's Morrison on the toss. It'll get 2 more yards added to his total. They'll say 1 on that. Good stop right near the line of scrimmage. But they're at the 12-yard line from here. They can still get a 1st down at the 3.
Yeah, Bogey Barr in this defense is pulling every tool out of the toolbox, Curtis. They're trying to get a fumble out of Morrison like they did early on in the game. Some kind of big break for this defense here would be absolutely humongous in terms of the momentum shift. But so far, they're just not able to get it.
That's a handoff right side. There's not a lot to it, but Bentley has a range around the right side. It is 3rd and 4. Biggest third down of the game either way for both these teams.
It's the biggest decision that Mike Daggs is going to have to make in the game so far tonight is, do you pass, do you run here on the 3rd and 4? It's a critical decision.
Not a QB sneak here, too far away. I formation, 2-minute warning. Well, we're going to think about it for another couple seconds before this one gets underway.
Adobe was in that backfield again there. If they go to that same play, I agree with you. They can't sneak it from this distance, so maybe they'll try and go back to that Dumas swing pass out of the backfield. Adobe's in the backfield again here.
Interesting decision.
There's no way
see where they go. No, you wouldn't think.
They're so far away. There's no way.
They're too far away. No, they don't. Chance. Sipe. Go. Does he get it out? Terrazas makes the catch, but doesn't get the touchdown. He does make it 1st and goal as they continue to take time away.
I would say that's the perfect play, actually, Curtis. You don't score right now. You get to drain time off the clock. If I'm Bossier City, I'm smashing a timeout right now. You've got to try and save time here because Mexico City's almost certainly going to score at this rate.
In theory, I mean, one would say, do you let them score? That way you have enough time to get it downfield.
I'd say you have to at this point, honestly.
Minute 30 to go. They're still continuing to kill time off this play clock. Now they'll do it. Buford Van Dam into the end zone for the touchdown. Mexico City comes all the way back to take the lead.
Again, Buford Van Dam up the middle. You know, that big, bulky fullback frame is, you know, the one who's going to carry the load in these goal line situations. They're a great job shaking off, you know, one of the blocks there and carrying Freddie Trammell with him into the end zone. A great run. And, you know, Mexico City's going to take this lead here. But Bossier City still has a minute 23, all 3 timeouts. And we've seen them been able to go deep all throughout the game tonight. So this game, absolutely not over.
Yeah, 3 timeouts for Bossier City, as you alluded to. Extra point coming up from Blackwater. Snap good, hold good. Kick on the way. It is up, and it is through to make it a 5-point advantage. 12 plays, 4:54 off the clock. It is best case scenario for Mexico City. They take the lead. They also chew a majority of the clock away in this contest. Here we go. Big time drive coming up here for Bossier City. Let's see what the kick return has for us. As this will be Dave Axis. Out to the 20, to the 25. Rolls his way to the 28-yard line. That was not Axis, actually, on the return, interestingly enough.
Pink Lisa.
And it is Pink Lisa, 1st and 10.
That's a good return there by the cornerback. And that's a good kind of setup here. That's what you're going to need for this offense to really succeed here. You want to get as far down the field as you can from the return to really open things up, open the taps for this offense. We're going to see Pickler wheeling and dealing here. You know, in the second half, he's been great, honestly, better than the first half, I would argue. Really clamped down on the turnover problem here, but Mexico City's going to be gunning for that 4th interception. Can Pickler keep that control?
The veteran under center, trying to get something done. Garrison Blue, the tight end, is going to be in motion. 4 wide, 3 on the play clock. Pickler throws right side, incomplete. Knocked away at the last possible second. Was looking for Blue on the inside slant, 2nd and 10.
Oh, man, Blue has had a scrappy game so far tonight, Curtis. Every time it feels like he's in position to make a catch, he's getting absolutely shellacked by this defense. And that time, it's a corner, Liam Ryan, who's able to lay the big boom on the tight end and break the pass up there.
Pickler under center again, 4 wide. They're in the quads look. They're going to move Axis to the left side of the formation in the slot.
Zone coverage.
Pickler throws again. That one's caught, 1st down, and dragging some defenders is Dave Axis towards midfield. They call their first timeout.
Love that, love that. Dave Axis, you know, started really involved in the game, off the game plan as things have been going. You know, it's been a lot of shift to Calia and Banfield, but a big 3rd catch there for Axis, just shy of 50 yards receiving for him on the game.
You do have to watch Banfield in this spot. This is where he cooks. Pressure coming. Pickler gets it away, and it is caught. Wow! In the face of danger, Pickler laughs. In the face of danger, Calia has the 1st down.
It's a beautiful throw there, Curtis. You know, Johnny Pickler is staring down a free rusher on the right side in the face. Calia on the corner route there, and it's such a great throw. You know, Gerard Brody is right there, and if he throws it any further inside, there's a potential for an interception or a broken up pass, but he puts it right on the money in the face of the pressure.
They do not call a timeout there. 44 seconds left in the football game. Pickler looks, throws, intercepted! That is a criminally overthrown ball, and Max Jackson eats those for lunch, and that's going to be your ball game.
Oh, it's a backbreaker, Curtis. Dave Axis was wide open over the middle.
Yes, he was.
It's such I hate to say it, but it's an ugly throw from Johnny Pickler.
That's his worst throw of the night at the worst time, unfortunately. And Pickler's going to be kicking himself, to say the least, for that on the sideline. Victory formation for Jordan Sipe and company, as they are going to put a bow on this game. They had to come back from 8 down to do it, but they did just that. Timeout taken by Bossier City. That's their 2nd.
It's going to be the 4th win in a row for Mexico City against this Bossier City franchise here. The first time they're going to win at Bossier City's home, away from home. And You know, it's oh man, it was such a good game. I have to say,
Yeah.
it was all kinds of twists and turns there. There's a great chance for Bossier City at the end to drive down the field. I think if you're Bossier City, you got to be proud. You took the reigning champs to the ropes basically
Yeah.
in this one. It was a fight all the way to the very end.
Yeah, but I mean, at what point do moral victories not count? And
Right.
really, you need to start putting wins in the win column. So Bossier City's going to be lamenting this. They had this in their midst against the defending champs, and they are going to be feeling this one for quite some time. That's your last kneel down of this football game. No more plays needed with 25 seconds left. That is going to finish things off. Bossier City gets to 1-4. Unfortunately for them, they had a chance in this game, and it unfortunately just did not go their way. On the other side, it is a 3-1 start for the defending champs once again, as they get things done on their side. So good stuff from Mexico City. They get the win, 19-14. And Brandon, let's break it down, the last bit of this football game.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a close end of the game there. It really felt like Jordan Sipe and that offense came alive. They finally figured out the balance of passing to running that they were looking for throughout the entire game. And, you know, able to bring back that third down conversion percentage, I think helped them a lot there. The time of possession was way in their favor. Again, ball security, you know, only one turnover for Mexico City, whereas Bossier City had 4. That's going to sink you most of the time, even if your defense is playing as well as Bossier City's was tonight. You know, if you can't, keep control of the ball and limit those turnovers, it's always going to be hard for you. I think in terms of a player of the game, I mean, you know, it's hard to look on the losing side of a contest, but Vin Calia and Jeff Banfield had great games receiving the ball. I think if I had to go for someone, though, I mean, you got to say that John Osiris, two interceptions from a linebacker is always, you know, that's such a big a shift for you in terms of how you're able to play the game and how you're able to react on defense. So I'm going to give it to John Osiris.
I like it. John Osiris, your player of the game from this Mexico City win, 19-14. Both teams on the road next week. One at Florida. That's Mexico City heading to Florida. And then it is Bossier City headed to Arizona to take on the Scorpions. For Brandon Walters, for Eddie Gage, and JW Hartshorn on stats, I'm Chris Curtis saying goodbye and good night from Louisiana. It is 19-14. Defending champs get the win. We'll see you in the next block. Have a nice day, everybody.